remember it was a bluebird September afternoon. I think it was September 11th, 2010. And my family, we were anchored up in the corner of a secluded cove. We were rafted up with our close family friends on the McGraths. We were with John McGrath Sr., who was a member of the NYPD on 9/11. He worked at Ground Zero on that day and in the weeks that followed. But for years, he never talked about it, and we respected that. I remember one day, he was standing on the swim platform, my dad was sitting on the gunnel, and I was nearby. He took a long sip of his Corona and he looked around and said, "This is what I wish everyone could do on September 11th. I wish it was a national holiday where you could spend time with your friends and family on the water and just make memories." In this special issue, the Power Mode Yacht team commemorates this important American anniversary by shining a spotlight on those who go to sea not for pleasure, but to keep those of us that do safe. Associate Editor Carly Sisson spent time with the FDNY's famed Marine One unit to better understand how the department changed after 9/11 and how they honor their fallen brothers by working in and day out to protect New York. Executive Editor Charlie Levine spent a hair-raising day on and above the water with the Department of Homeland Security, a branch that was formed in response to the 9/11 attacks, and he got to witness firsthand how they protect our waters with the philosophy known simply as shock and awe. We also worked with James Kendra and Tricia Wachendorf to tell one of the most heroic boating stories of all time, that of the waterborne evacuation of Manhattan on 9/11, an impromptu civilian and commercial operation that reminds us that even in the darkest of times, rays of light can shine through. As for me, I've been thinking about my friend John Sr., who passed away a couple of years ago. I couldn't talk to him about this anniversary, so I did the next best thing. I joined his son, John Jr., now a member of the Fairfield Police Department Marine Unit, for a day on the water. And even though John Jr. was only in middle school when the attacks happened, he said that day and his father's heroism cemented his resolve and desire to become a police officer. Now, our goal with this issue is not to make anyone sad or morose, but to acknowledge the tragedy, pay tribute to those who lost their lives, and for all of us to gain better insight into the work being done by first responders that we share the water with. This year, September 11th, will have a double meaning for me. Last year, on September 10th, we were anxiously awaiting the arrival of my son Connor. And that night, knowing the dark anniversary that lay ahead, I whispered to Karen's belly and said, "Hey buddy, we're super excited to meet you, but why don't you hold off just a couple more days?" When Karen shouted my name from the bathroom 3 a.m. the next morning, I knew that my son had ignored me for the very first time. You wouldn't do that, would you? So sometimes I think about his birthday and the anniversary, and I wonder how I'm going to explain to him the significance of that day. I think I'll try to focus more on the heroes than the evil. I think I'll try to explain the importance of first responders and teach him to look out for other people. But all that is going to have to wait a few more years. This year, I think what do you think? We'll just get a cake and we'll head out on the water and do what my friend John would have wanted. Make memories with friends and family. I hope you'll join me in doing the same. See you guys on the water.